He looked me in the eye that night, like he was just asking for the salt, and said it so casually. "We don't have space for you anymore, Mom." That's how they celebrated my birthday, with a cold smile, a slice of cake I didn't even want. Little did they know, by morning, the house they thought they owned would be slipping through their fingers, all because of the half they forgot I still held. I'd spent years holding families together, baking birthday cakes, drying tears, cleaning up their mess. But I never expected to be erased from my own story. By the end of this night, I wasn't the victim anymore. They were about to learn what betrayal feels like when it comes from someone who loves you enough to fight back. Before I tell you how it all unfolded, hit that like button, share where you're watching from, and subscribe so you never miss a story like this. Now, let's dive in. My name is Linda Carter, and on the night of my 65th birthday, I finally realized they'd written me out of their family story. I moved in with my son Josh and his wife Megan. After my husband James passed away, the house felt too quiet without him, and though I'd never thought of myself as the kind of person who'd lean on her kids, they'd insisted. "It's your home too, Mom," Josh had said, eyes bright and excited, like the little boy who used to chase fireflies in the backyard. Megan, too, had hugged me that day, saying, "We'll make room. We promise." I'd sold the family house, the one James and I had poured 30 years of sweat and laughter into. I brought with me nothing but 2 suitcases, a folded quilt from my old bedroom, and a framed photo of James that I still kiss goodnight every now and then. The first few weeks were gentle. Megan showed me how to work the new Wi-Fi thermostat, though she sighed a little too often. Josh made me coffee every morning, sweetened just right, and he even remembered that I liked the morning news on low volume. I told myself to be helpful, to be quiet. I folded towels, wiped counters, and tried not to mention the way the kitchen smelled too sterile, no garlic, no onions, just lemony soap, but the house itself didn't feel like home. The walls were white and echoey, the kind of white that made everything feel temporary, like a hotel. My room, if you could call it that, was the guest suite. No closet, a twin bed, half bath, no shower. I didn't mind. Or at least, I told myself I didn't. Then came the little shifts, the padlock on the fridge, for meal prepping. The modem moved upstairs. My Netflix stopped working for 3 days. Megan's jokes at dinner about living with 2 kids and a grandma. Josh's sighs when I asked to put up a shelf. I started to feel like a guest who had overstayed. And the worst part was, this wasn't just a house, it was half mine. The deed still had my name next to Josh's, 51% his, 49% mine. I never thought that would matter, but by the time my birthday rolled around, I realized I'd been living in a place that was theirs all along. I just hadn't seen it. If you've ever faced something like this, tell us your story in the comments. It was my birthday dinner, just the 4 of us. Megan's sister tagged along because she was in town. We sat at that long, modern dining table. That always felt too cold, too white. A birthday cake sat in the middle, candles burning, like tiny threats. Josh raised his glass and smiled wide. "Mom," he began, his voice steady, "we're so grateful for everything you've done for us, especially letting us move forward with the house." Megan beamed. "Yes, Linda, it's been such a gift. Sharing this space with you." My gut clenched. I hadn't given them anything. Josh kept going. "It's been tough with the market, you know. So we're just so grateful you agreed to sign things over." I stared at him. What was he talking about? Megan reached for my hand, like she was consoling a toddler. "We can't thank you enough for making this place ours, truly. You've always put family first." I blinked. I hadn't signed a thing. My heart pounded as I remembered the conversations I'd half heard, the papers Megan had asked me to sign. Just standard disclosures, she'd said. I hadn't looked closely. Had I signed something by mistake? Josh continued, a smile too bright, a voice too smooth. We've already started working with the bank to refinance the house. It's just so helpful to have everything squared away, now that it's officially ours. I couldn't breathe. Megan squeezed my hand again. We just wanted to do it all proper-like. No surprises. I pulled my hand back, my eyes darted around the table, looking for any sign of a joke. But it wasn't a joke. That's when it hit me. Like a wave, like a punch. My son had taken my home. He'd convinced me to sign it over without even realizing it. And now, on my birthday, he was raising a toast to celebrate the theft. I didn't stand up. I didn't scream. I just sat there, hands folded in my lap, watching my own family eat cake on my dime, in my home, under my roof. That night, I didn't sleep. I replayed every conversation, every signature, every smile. That wasn't a smile at all. I'd raised a son who'd stolen everything from me. Happy birthday, Mom. Welcome to your own betrayal. The days after that dinner felt like living in a house of glass. Everywhere I turned, I saw reflections of what I'd lost. Megan walked through the halls like she was already the owner, calling contractors, asking me to leave doors unlocked. For estimates, she'd say, as if I'd signed my life away. Josh avoided me, spending hours on the phone in the backyard, but I knew I'd raised him. I knew when he was lying. Every time his voice dropped to that low hush, every time he said, "No, she's fine with it," my chest tightened. I tried to talk to him one morning, coffee cup trembling in my hands. "Josh," I began, "can we just—" He didn't look up from his phone. "It's done, Mom," he said flatly. "We're already in process. We can't just stop now." Megan, always 2 steps ahead, swooped in with that sweet-lipped venom. "Linda, let's not make this harder than it needs to be. You know we'll take care of you." I felt my stomach drop. Take care of me. Like I was a burden, to be managed. At night, I lay awake, listening to their laughter upstairs, the muffled plans they made in hushed tones. "We can finally renovate," she'd giggle. "A real nursery, maybe a home office." My name wasn't on those plans. My name wasn't on anything anymore. One afternoon, I found Megan on the porch with a realtor. She gestured to the living room windows, the yard I'd planted with my own hands. "She's moving out soon," she said, with a plastic smile. "We're just getting everything ready." My legs nearly gave out. She was already showing my home to strangers. I confronted Josh that night. "Why are you doing this? I never signed anything. To give you the house, you know that." He didn't meet my eyes. "Mom, it's complicated. Megan's pregnant. We need stability. It's best for everyone." Pregnant. That word echoed in my skull, like a funeral bell. Stability, he'd said. Stability for them. Instability for me. I was living in a home I'd built with my late husband, and now I was just a tenant, waiting for the door to lock me out. And somewhere deep down, I realized this wasn't just betrayal. This was a war for my own identity. I didn't sleep that night. My hands trembled as I reached for the drawer where I kept every important document I'd ever collected: mortgage papers, insurance forms, copies of my husband's will, the note from the bank. When we first bought this place, each page felt heavier than the last. I turned to the deed, carefully reading every line. My name was still there, bold and defiant. I hadn't signed it away, hadn't given them the right to claim it as their own. My chest heaved as the truth hit me. They'd counted on my silence, on my guilt, on my mother's heart, to keep me quiet. But I wasn't quiet anymore. The next morning, I brewed a cup of coffee, strong and black, the way my husband had loved it. I sat at the kitchen table, staring at the sunrise, letting its glow remind me that I was still here. Then I called my lawyer. I'd hired her years ago to handle my husband's estate, and though we hadn't spoken in months, She picked up on the second ring. "Linda," she said, "what's happened?" I told her everything. The birthday dinner, the so-called pregnancy, the announcements, the strangers in my living room. Every time I paused, she murmured softly, "I understand." When I finished, she sighed. "They're building a case to pressure you, probably banking on a power of attorney or mental incompetence angle. Have you signed anything recently?" "No," I said firmly. "Not a thing." "Good. We'll draft a letter today, rescind any old powers of attorney, and freeze their ability to act on your behalf. We'll also put a hold on the property, so they can't sell it without your explicit consent." A small laugh escaped my lips. For the first time in days, I felt the weight lifting. "Thank you," I whispered. "Linda," she said, her voice like steel, wrapped in velvet. "You're not alone." After I hung up, I got to work. I changed the locks, hired a security service to patrol the property at night. I set up a camera at the front door, linked to my phone. I even bought a new lockbox and stored every document inside it, tucked it under my bed, with a key only I could find. Josh and Megan were quiet at first. Maybe they sensed the shift. Maybe they thought I'd given up. But on the third night, Josh knocked at my door. "Mom," he said, his voice soft. The same voice he'd used when he was 5 and had broken my favorite vase. "Can we talk?" I opened the door, just an inch. He sighed. "We're in over our heads, okay? Megan's pregnancy, it's complicated. We just need your help one last time. Just sign a paper so we can get the financing." My gut churned. "What is it? You want me to sign, Josh?" His eyes darted to the floor. "Just something for the bank. It'll make everything easier for all of us." I thought of all the times he'd smiled at me like that, all the times he'd used that voice to get what he wanted. "No," I said, "you're firm. Not this time." He looked stunned. "Mom." "Not this time," I repeated, and shut the door. Inside, I exhaled, tears stinging my eyes. I wasn't his ATM anymore. I wasn't his easy target. I was still his mother, but I wasn't his fool. The day after I refused to sign, I got a call from the bank. "Ms. Carter, this is Janice from Carolina Private Lending," the voice said, polite but cautious. "I wanted to inform you that the loan your son took out, using the house as collateral, is officially in default. Foreclosure proceedings are scheduled to begin next week." I felt the knot in my stomach tighten. "What does that mean for me?" I asked, my voice steady, but low. Janice cleared her throat. "Technically, you have the right to satisfy the debt and keep the house. Or, if you prefer, you can release your claim and let the foreclosure proceed. Either way, you're a co-owner, so we need your consent." The sun through the window hit the table just right, casting shadows over the coffee cup I'd been nursing since dawn. I took a breath. "Send me the papers," I said. When they arrived, I read every line, twice. I took out the same blue pen I'd used to sign Josh's field trip forms when he was in the 2nd grade, and with a deep breath, I signed the release. I let the house go. I didn't tell Josh. I didn't tell Megan. That night, I sat on the edge of my bed, the deed in my lap, and whispered, "Let it go." The next morning, I checked the mailbox. A single envelope sat waiting. No return address, just my name, in Josh's handwriting. My hands shook as I opened it. Inside was a single sheet of paper. "Mom, I don't know what happened. We're getting foreclosure notices. Megan's panicking. Please call me." I folded the letter slowly, placed it back in the envelope, and set it aside. Josh called 3 times that day. Each time, I let it ring. By the time the foreclosure notice hit the door, Megan was in meltdown mode on the neighborhood Facebook group, spinning the story like a politician. "We're being scammed," she wrote. "We tried to help family, and now we're losing our home." Neighbors rallied around her, offering advice, sympathy, and prayers. No one called me. That night, I poured myself a glass of water, sat at the table, and wrote one line in my journal. They played victim, but I held the receipts. I thought of all the dinners I'd cooked, all the times I kept my mouth shut. Then I thought of all the times they'd shut me out. Friday came, and with it, the lockout. The sheriff's office arrived at 10 a.m., sharp, taped the notice to the door, and posted a bright orange sign that said word, "Foreclosure eviction." I didn't go. I didn't watch. I didn't need to. At 11:03 a.m., my phone buzzed with a voicemail, Josh's voice cracked with anger and tears. "You ruined us, Mom. I hope you're happy." I deleted it. I'd spent years thinking silence was weakness, but now I saw it was my armor. In the end, the house went to auction. Some stranger bought it. I imagined them moving in, painting walls, cooking meals, never knowing the history. That clung to the corners of that place. It didn't matter anymore. Josh and Megan called, texted, pleaded. I never answered. Because sometimes the best revenge is letting people sit with the mess they made. I wasn't their savior anymore. I wasn't their ATM. I wasn't their mother. In the way they expected, I was me. And that was enough. After everything was said and done, I sat in my small motel room, staring at the ceiling, while the evening light slowly faded from gold to gray. The world had quieted down around me, like the eye of a storm, after the winds had torn everything apart. I thought about all those times I'd stepped in to save Josh, the scraped knees, the forgotten lunches, the tuition payments. Every time he'd stumbled, I'd been there with a bandage, a check, a hug, and every time I told myself that's what mothers do. But now, in this silence, I wondered if all I'd taught him was how to expect me to catch him, no matter what. The echoes of his voice from that last voicemail still rattled in my ears. "You ruined us, Mom." Like I'd taken something that wasn't his to begin with, like the home he'd tried to rip out from under me had always been his birthright. I thought about Megan's face when she asked for help, her eyes wide, her voice trembling. I wondered if she even realized that she was playing a part in a story she'd written for herself, a victim, in a narrative she'd crafted to get sympathy from strangers online. For years, I'd let that narrative define me too. The mother who'd sacrificed everything, the woman who'd given until she had nothing left, the one who always said yes. But not this time. This time, I'd chosen to walk away, to let them learn what it felt like to stand on their own, to feel the ground shift under their feet without me holding it steady. The day after the foreclosure, I took a walk around the block, the cool breeze brushing against my face, like a reminder that life keeps moving, even when you stand still. I bought a cup of coffee at a little corner shop and sat by the window, watching the cars pass. I didn't check my phone. I didn't think about what Josh might be saying to the neighbors or what Megan might be posting. On social media, I thought about what I'd learned, that sometimes the people who call you family will turn on you the moment they think you're in the way, that the promises of love and loyalty can dissolve faster than sugar and tea when money's on the table, and that silence, my silence, wasn't just a weapon, it was my shield. I knew now that I couldn't change what Josh and Megan had done, but I could change how I responded. I could choose peace over chaos. I could choose my own sanity over their manipulations. As I watched the sunset that evening, I felt a sense of calm wash over me, the kind that comes from knowing you finally put down the burden you were never meant to carry. They might never understand why I did what I did. They might twist the story to make themselves look like the victims. But that wasn't my problem anymore, because for the first time in years, I wasn't responsible for their happiness, for their home, or their lies. I was only responsible for me. And in that quiet, with my coffee cooling on the table and the hum of life outside, I realized that was enough. It had been a week since the lockout, and I hadn't heard a single word. From Josh or Megan, no calls, no texts, nothing. Part of me thought they'd finally understood the boundary I'd drawn, the one that said I wasn't going to be their safety net anymore. But then, just as I was about to let myself believe in that quiet, the knock came. It was late. The motel hallway smelled like burnt toast and bleach. I peeked through the peephole, and there he was. Josh. No Megan this time, no baby, just him. His eyes hollow, his shoulders slumped, like a man who'd lost more than just a house. I cracked the door just enough to look at him. He tried to smile, but it looked like it hurt. "Mom," he said, his voice raw. "We're gone, the house, everything. Megan left, took the baby to her mother's. I don't know what to do." I didn't say anything. I just waited. "I know I messed up," he went on. "I know I let you down, but I'm your son. I'm still your son. Please." I shook my head slowly. "Josh," I said, my voice calm and steady. "I'm sorry, but I can't fix this for you anymore." His eyes widened like he'd just been slapped. "Mom." I felt the tears start to well up, but I didn't let them fall, not in front of him. "I'm done, Josh. I'm done being your lifeline." He swallowed hard, his face pale. "So that's it?" I looked at him one last time. The boy I'd raised. The man who'd tried to use me like a spare key. "That's it," I said. I closed the door gently, turning the lock with a finality I'd never felt before. Through the thin walls, I heard him shuffle away. I heard his footsteps grow fainter, and then silence. I didn't open the door again. I didn't go to the window to watch him leave. I sat down on the bed, my heart heavy, but my spirit lighter than it had been in years. This time, I'd chosen myself, and for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel guilty about it.